Fans woke up to the kind of headline you have to read twice just to believe it. Adam Schefter reports the Cleveland Browns have released rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Yes, released. The same rookie who flashed brilliance in his preseason debut against the Rams. The same kid fans were begging to see more of. The same quarterback teammates whispered about in the locker room as different. Gone. Just like that. And this wasn't some routine paper move. Not one of those "he'll be back on the practice squad tomorrow" deals. No, this was a statement. And not a flattering one. So let's break it down. If you're here for the real story, the messy twists they won't show on highlight reels, stick around and subscribe. Because this Browns QB chaos is only getting started. Shedeur's path was supposed to be predictable: a fifth-round pick, a rookie, son of Deion Sanders. Legacy name, sure, but not an instant star. He wasn't even supposed to sniff QB1 his first year. That was the narrative. But then came the Rams game. Under the blinding lights of preseason Aaron Donald looming on the sideline like a silent executioner, Shedeur stepped in and did what rookies aren't supposed to do: he looked calm. Too calm. He made plays when the pocket collapsed. He read the defense fast. And then came the throw. Pressure screaming off the edge. Defenders crashing in. Clock ticking down. Sanders plants his feet and fires, threading a laser into the tightest window imaginable. Completion. First down. Stadium erupts. That wasn't just a highlight. That was a glimpse. A glimpse of what could be. Fans felt it. The city felt it. For the first time in ages, Cleveland wasn't just watching another quarterback rotation, they were watching someone different. Someone calm under pressure. Someone who didn't flinch when the lights got bright. That someone was Shedeur Sanders. But then, the Browns did what the Browns always do: they pulled the rug. Instead of rewarding him with more reps, they demoted him. Pushed him behind Dillon Gabriel on the depth chart. The message to fans was clear: don't get too excited. And now, he's gone. Released. Practice squad, maybe. Waivers, maybe. But the headline reads loud: Shedeur Sanders released. The backlash was instant. Fans erupted on social media, shredding the organization. Same old Browns. Nothing changes. Even veterans in the locker room were stunned. Off the record, teammates admitted they preferred Sanders: his passes were sharper, his timing crisper, his leadership steadier than Gabriel's frantic energy. So why cut him? Simple: politics. This wasn't about performance. It wasn't about merit. It was about protecting a narrative. Gabriel was the chosen one, the investment, the future. And when Sanders started outshining him, it created a problem the front office didn't want to face. So instead of confronting the truth, they buried it. Cut the rookie. Hide him on the practice squad. Pretend his flashes of brilliance never happened. But here's the thing: Cleveland doesn't forget. This is a city haunted by decades of quarterback heartbreak. Every false promise, every wasted draft pick, every season cut short, it's all burned into memory. You can't just cut the one guy who gave them hope and expect them to shrug it off. Hope is fragile here. And the Browns just stomped on it. And let's not forget the optics: a rookie walked into a high-pressure spotlight and delivered. Fans were chanting his name after just one preseason drive. Analysts praised his precision, his calm under pressure, his decision-making. And yet, he gets cut? For what? To keep Gabriel, who's been shaky all camp? To protect pride? To avoid admitting that a later-round pick might have outshined the chosen one? This isn't just a bad football call. It's a PR disaster. Because now, the conversation isn't about Shedeur Sanders being a promising rookie, it's about the Browns being the Browns again. Dysfunction. Wasted talent. Fans betrayed. Same cycle, different year. And here's the nightmare scenario: what if Sanders doesn't clear waivers? What if a rival team grabs him? Picture him in black and yellow with the Steelers. Or in purple with the Ravens. Imagine him blossoming into a star while Cleveland clings to what if. That's the kind of mistake that haunts franchises for decades. Sanders has the poise, the pedigree, the star power. If he lands in the right system, this cut won't just look questionable, it'll look catastrophic. But let's be clear, Sanders isn't finished. He's fueled. He's been doubted before, carried the weight of a famous last name, and proved critics wrong at every level. Getting released? That's not a setback, it's rocket fuel. Make no mistake, Sanders isn't sulking. He's plotting. Grinding. Preparing for the moment to show the world again that the Browns were wrong. Because here's what Cleveland forgot, you can cut a player, but you can't cut destiny. The Browns made their choice. And it's a choice that screams insecurity, fear, and pride over potential. The fans know it. The locker room feels it. And sooner or later, the whole league will too. Either way, today's decision is a turning point for Sanders, for the Browns, and for their fans. Moments like this don't just fade. They linger, they fester, they define eras. So the question is, did the Browns just make a colossal mistake, or are they playing some kind of 4D chess we can't see yet? Drop your take in the comments, because this one's going to divide fans for a long time. And if you live for meltdowns, chaos, and PR disasters dressed up as football strategy, smash that subscribe, because this saga isn't even close to over. This week's fake award? Most likely to become a Pro Bowl QB on someone else's roster. Take a bow, Shedeur. Cleveland may have cut you loose, but your story's just beginning. Now let's rip the band-aid off. If you thought the Browns releasing Sanders was shocking at first glance, just wait, the deeper you look, the uglier it gets. This isn't just another roster move. It's a moment that could define Cleveland's season, hell, maybe their decade. Because it's not just about who they cut, it's about what it says about the Browns as an organization. And what it says isn't flattering. Fans aren't just upset. They're furious. And not the casual, shake your head and move on kind of angry. I'm talking pitchforks and torches energy. Cleveland has lived through more quarterback heartbreaks than some franchises have playoff appearances. These fans know pain. They know disappointment. They know the gut punch feeling of hope dangled in front of them, only to be ripped away. So when Shedeur Sanders stepped onto the field against the Rams and delivered that spark compoise, fearless throws under pressure, they grabbed onto it. Finally, they thought, maybe this is the guy. And then, a week later, he was gone. Not benched. Not slowly eased in. Cut. Demoted to the practice squad like just another disposable piece in the NFL's endless quarterback carousel. Fans knew exactly what it was, not a football decision, but a political one. Because Sanders didn't lose his job on the field, he lost it in the meeting rooms. He lost it to pride, to narratives, to a front office unwilling to admit their hand-picked guy, Dillon Gabriel, was floundering while a fifth-round rookie with a famous last name outshined him. And the locker room? If fans are mad, imagine the players. Imagine running routes for both quarterbacks, knowing which ball hits you in stride and which one makes you leap for your life. Imagine watching Sanders steady the huddle under pressure, only to see him shipped out while the guy throwing wobblers keeps the job. Veterans don't buy into PR spin, they believe in production. And the word from camp? A lot of guys trusted Sanders more. They respected his composure more. Now, they're frustrated. Confused. Maybe even resentful. Because nothing kills a locker room faster than realizing politics matter more than performance. You can't preach competition and then cut the guy who clearly won it. Players see that. Fans see that. And let's not forget that Rams game, because it matters. That throw, the perfect dime under pressure, wasn't just a highlight, it was a statement. Every rookie jitters, every rookie stumbles, but not every rookie delivers when the walls are closing in. Sanders did. He stood tall in the pocket, stared down the chaos, and ripped it with the confidence of someone who just has it. That single play was enough to make fans believe he deserved more chances. But instead of riding that momentum, the Browns slammed the brakes. They saw a spark and poured water on it. Now here we are. Shedeur Sanders sits in limbo. Maybe he clears waivers and hides away on the practice squad. Maybe another team snatches him, seeing what Cleveland refused to. And let's be real, if he develops elsewhere into even a solid starter, the Browns will never live it down. Imagine Pittsburgh picking him up. Imagine Baltimore grooming him behind Lamar. Imagine him learning under Burrow in Cincinnati, only to one day torch Cleveland twice a year for the next decade. That's not just a mistake, that's a curse. And no one knows curses better than Cleveland. And once Adam Schefter reported it, that was the nail in the coffin. When Schefter tweets, it's not just news, it's gospel. Suddenly, the Browns' little internal decision explodes into a league-wide controversy. Talk shows debate it. Fans light up comment sections. The national media feasts. And everyone's watching other teams, agents, the entire league. Because if Cleveland doesn't value a poised, talented rookie quarterback, someone else will. If Shedeur Sanders gets his shot somewhere else, the Browns just lit the fuse on a storyline they won't escape. The truth is, they didn't just cut a rookie, they cut hope. They told fans, don't trust what you saw, trust what we say. They told the locker room, performance matters less than politics. They told the league, we'd rather protect our pride than develop talent. And that's not just a mistake, it's a turning point. For Sanders, this could be the beginning of something bigger, whether in Cleveland or beyond. For the Browns, it's another painful chapter in their saga of how not to handle quarterbacks. So what happens now? Does Sanders land on the practice squad and claw his way back? Does another team swoop in and steal him? Does Cleveland realize their mistake when it's too late? Whatever the case, this story isn't over. Not by a long shot. Because Sanders may have been cut, but he hasn't been broken. And when the dust settles, it might not be Sanders paying the price, it might be Cleveland. For once, Cleveland had a quarterback who felt different. A quarterback who didn't crumble under pressure. Who didn't freeze up like a deer in headlights when things got tough. For one fleeting moment, Shedeur Sanders gave them exactly that. And then, just like that, the Browns ripped it away. The real problem? The locker room. Players always know who the best guy is. They don't care about draft position, pedigree, or hype. They care about who delivers when it counts. Who makes them believe in the huddle. And already, whispers were leaking out, veterans trusted Sanders more. Teammates felt his poise. His confidence was contagious. So what message does it send when that guy gets cut? A terrible one. It tells the locker room this isn't about performance. It's about politics. About protecting faces instead of putting the best players on the field. And nothing kills morale faster than realizing merit doesn't matter. And then, there are the fans. Oh, Cleveland fans don't just shrug this stuff off. These are people who live and breathe football, who've carried every quarterback disaster like a scar they wear with pride. They wanted different. Sanders gave them hope. And now they're left with betrayal. They saw it against the Rams, Shatter's spark. The crowd felt it. The stadium lit up when he dropped that throw under pressure. Social media exploded. For a moment, hope flickered back to life. And then the Browns crushed it. The backlash? Brutal. Same old Browns. Another quarterback wasted. When will this franchise learn? Fans know this isn't just a roster move, it's a symbol. Another painful chapter in the cursed saga of a team that never gets quarterback decisions right. And you can already hear it coming. If Gabriel stumbles, if the season starts rocky, the boos won't just rain down for bad play. They'll be for the decision. For the front office. For the pride that got in the way of progress. And now it's not just Cleveland's problem, it's national. The second Adam Schefter reported it, the story blew up. Every sports show in America is asking, did the Browns just make a colossal mistake? Analysts are debating. Former players are weighing in. Rival teams are circling like sharks. This moment? Just another test. Another hurdle. Another chance to prove people wrong. And if there's one thing we've learned about Shedeur Sanders, it's that he never runs from those moments. But for Cleveland, this isn't new, it's the same old Browns story. A franchise defined by a legacy of quarterback blunders, with a graveyard of names etched across the backs of jerseys. Dozens of players once hailed as the guy, only to vanish into disappointment. Some crumbled under pressure. Some were sabotaged by bad coaching. Others never even got a fair chance. And now, Shedeur Sanders is the latest name added to that cursed history. The Browns had a chance to break the cycle. To embrace the spark, to finally give fans something real. Instead, they chose safety. They chose politics. They cut the kid who could have changed everything. So here we are. Sanders' NFL future dangles in uncertainty. Maybe he clears waivers. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe another team takes the gamble. Maybe he claws his way back from the practice squad. But no matter what, this decision will haunt the Browns. If Sanders succeeds elsewhere, they'll forever be the team that let him slip away. If he returns and eventually earns the starting job, this moment will be remembered as a needless detour. And even if he flames out completely, fans will still whisper, "What if?" Because this isn't just a roster move. It's a turning point for Sanders. For Cleveland. For the fans who have lived this nightmare far too many times.